And here's your host, Iconoclast and Dick Taco.
Welcome to the next episode of the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast. I'm Iconoclast.
And I am your host, Dick Taco.
And let's talk about some wrestling. So I wanted to start this week talking about some stuff that I discovered over this past week. I guess it's a mini Iconoclast shitty wrestling corner. I don't know.
Oh boy.
I was watching some stuff about TNA right before I came over.
Oh, it's definitely shitty wrestling then if it's TNA.
Well, we'll be talking about TNA later in the show because they did a show that...
Yeah, I was in the mountains of Pennsylvania this week. I didn't realize how many shows there were. That's why I was like...
I only saw one clip of Joe Hendry coming out with the Hardys.
With both of them?
Yes. Matt and Jeff. His Rich Swann is in rehab, so now the curse has been lifted.
Is he really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, he's not. So now the curse has been lifted on Jeff. So...
He passed it on to somebody else.
Yeah.
He probably got him hooked freebase and coke or something, and now he's ruined his life.
Did you say Rich Swann, Tim Meadows of...
Yeah, he's the Tim Meadows of TNA. He's been there for like 30 fucking years.
No, so as I was saying, I was watching...
He was there the first time it was TNA, before they went to Impact.
Yeah, like the craziest stuff. Oh, well, so was Eric Young.
Yeah, he's another fucking loser.
Eric Young's been there for like 20 years. He went to WWE for a little bit, but...
Yeah, no, he never made the main roster. He made NXT. You know why he didn't make the main roster? Because he sucks.
No, because I was watching old clips of NXT, some of the crazy moments, like when Jeremy Borash and him took him shopping, and he went to go buy condoms, and they were the extra small size, and James Storm was there buying beer, and he made fun of him.
That's funny.
There was this other thing where he was having a match, and the ceiling caught on fire, and they kept doing the match.
I didn't know about
It's
that.
like, what do I want to say? It's like hardcore... I forget what pay-per-view it is.
Hardcore Justice?
No, it's not Hardcore Justice.
That was the old ECW guys.
It's not Hardcore Justice. It's before that. It's 2005. Back when it was still good.
Well, it was better. I won't say it was ever
There's a
good.
few years there, like 2005, 2006, to when Hogan and Bischoff show up.
I like really 06. Good. I watched when Angle came in. 05, the Dudleys came in, and then Angle came in.
And Joe showed up.
Yeah, because Joe was a Ring of Honor guy.
And Christian Cage.
I never cared about that. You like him more than I do.
He's one of the, if not the most underrated wrestler of all time. AEW's proven that.
I'm still not over the fact that he won the fucking Casino Gauntlet match. It was a fucking waste of me bringing Nigel out of retirement. He could have bled on somebody, for Christ's sake.
And then there was, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, because in TNA that's peak Perk Angle, and there's this one segment. It's from like July of 2007, where Perk is in a tanning bed, and he's refusing to get out because Jeremy Borash keeps trying to interview him, and he says Jeremy's trying to look at his Olympic ass. And then he gets out, and
Kurt is funny. He's
especially
very funny.
when he was on the Perks.
Oh, like those times he was in WWE with Austin where they're playing the guitars and he wore the little fucking cowboy hat. He was a funny. I never knew he was... See, when they brought him in, I didn't know he was going to be a heel. But it was just so natural because nobody really liked his personality. And back then, people were more worried about seeing women's tits and all this other shit. Like, they couldn't appreciate a good technical wrestler. I still could. But he was just a natural
I told you,
heel.
in my opinion, he's one of the best of all time.
I said he'd be in my top 5.
And it's a capital offense that he's never had a 5-star match.
That just proves that Rutabaga-Face has his head up his ass.
Well, we'll be talking about him some more later.
Oh, he's had a hard week, Dave.
Yeah, the thing with the Bellas. But
well, I got that on the format. We need to talk about that. But that pissed me off. But go ahead.
But anyway, so now Perk is just standing there in a thong.
Oh, geez.
Because someone took his clothes and his belt. This is when he was like X Division champion, the world champion.
Oh, he had all the belts?
Yeah. And someone stole it and his Armani suit. So now he's running around all backstage trying to, in a thong, trying to... And I showed this to Mother Lane, and she found it to be disgusting. But
there's a lot to find disgusting about wrestling, especially TNA.
But now he ends up calling a staff meeting. Everyone's in the back trying not to look at his ass. And he's like, listen, you're all like first match jobbers. opening match jobbers. And Shark Boy starts laughing and he beats the shit out of Shark Boy. And then he goes out to the producer's room and he stands on there and he counts to 10 while he clenches his ass cheek. And the camera zooms in on it.
Rick Rude used to do that all the time when he would pose.
Yeah. And then
Pop was talking about him over the weekend, Rick Rude.
He beats up one of the producers. And then he goes out in a bathrobe to the ring and he says the fans took it. So someone took it to sell his underwear for $2,000 on eBay. And then Joe comes out and it's revealed that he's the one that took it because he wants to get a match with Angle.
This story isn't getting any better.
And then Kurt took the bathrobe off, so he's in his thong, and he puts Joe through a table.
This story's not getting any better.
So now let's talk about this. I got to talk about fucking Disco Inferno, the gifted Glenn Gilberti.
Yeah, get that out now because it ain't on the format. Let's get the real news.
He said something about trashing AEW or something like he always does.
Well, first of all, are you talking about him being on Conan's podcast?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that is about. I tried listening to them. They're about far above Russo or the wrestling guy. Russo's on like 4 different ones.
He needs the money.
But he's on the Wrestling Outlaws. I saw he was on there with EC3. And I'm like, no, it should be the Wrestling Losers. But
EC3 with his nose that looks like it's about to snap off.
Oh, he looks like he could be in the mob, dude. Like, no sweat. But, all right, get back to Disco Inferno.
So, I'm pretty sure it was on Conan's podcast. We're speaking of Conan. Apparently,
that's a horrible podcast, is what I was trying to say.
Well, apparently Conan and Tony Khan don't like each other now because Conan called Ty Conti, this one women's wrestler in AEW who had a booking at AAA. She was just like, oh yeah, she's just some AEW chick. And
so Tony took offense to that?
He thought it was disrespectful.
Well, he probably doesn't. He probably wanted a job and Tony wouldn't give him one because Conan's like middle of the road guy. He was NWB team. He wasn't as good as Bagwell.
He was in the Wolfpack.
Who cares?
Well, that's why apparently now AEW doesn't really work with AAA anymore. They work with CMLL, which is better because they have better people. Fuck
Conan. Fuck him as a podcaster, host, and a booker.
Disco Inferno's on there talking, and Don Callis said, "You're not qualified to speak on sports entertainment at an elementary school."
Oh, about Disco Inferno?
Yeah.
Well,
and then I
can't disagree.
Bullshit on Reddit talking about how at least Disco was over at one point. You know. Don was never even close to being over as a wrestler. You know?
Don got what we call nuclear heat for the longest time. Only him and Dominic Mysterio were the most hated wrestlers in the world last year.
Don didn't get big until he hitched his wagon to Kenny Omega. Like, before that, no one gave a shit about him.
That's not true. Don may not have been in bigger parts, like when he was Cyrus in ECW, for the network.
He was good in that. I thought he was good there. He was a wrestler in Canada.
Yeah, just because he wasn't always a main player doesn't mean he wasn't good at the spot they gave him.
And he was also working behind the scenes a lot of the times.
Yeah. So, fuck Glenn Gilberti, who only ever was in the opening matches.
Hey, he was in the Dancing Fools with... Who was it?
They just called them the Fools. I don't have to be Dancing Fools.
It was Alex Wright, and there was a third Japanese guy.
He should have hosted Bash in Berlin. Das Wunderkind. Alex Wright. He's another guy with a huge cack.
And then someone else posted this old thing. This was from 2018, where Cody and Glenn Gilberti were feuding on Twitter.
Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
All right.
This is in 2018. So Glenn Gilberti said, "No one knows how to work anymore. They would rather kill each other to get Dave Meltzer to put their match over. This is a problem that needs to be put front and center. Guys are going to keep getting hurt." And then Cody responds, "Stop. You know nothing. You have drawn $0. No fan has ever left the show thinking about you. You were lucky to be a juiced-up double-lifer over with the boys type in an era where you hid in plain sight, coasting on other success. Couldn't hang then, can't get booked now."
I couldn't agree more, but I do have to disagree. Phil liked Disco Inferno.
Yeah, did you say Phil also likes Savio Vega?
Yeah, I admit his taste in wrestling isn't great.
Savio for the Hall?
Yeah, I admit his taste in wrestling.
I've seen Savio barely wrestle. I saw him chop Finn Balor in the head.
He's the original guy that put over Steve Austin, I told you, when the Ringmaster came to WWF back in 96.
When he had hair.
A little bit.
All right, let's get to what's on. One more thing. This This was on TNA. I was watching on Saturday.
Oh boy! Wait, was this live?
No, this was.
Oh, you watching the channel?
Yeah, on the TNA channel on Saturdays, they play the old NWA TNA weekly pay-per-views, and this is where you can see some amazingly bad stuff.
Even my TV won't let me watch it. My Roku turns it off every time I try.
Like we have the era of Sex, Sports Entertainment Extreme, with Vince Russo's faction, where he's the main character. And then we have Mike Sanders comes out, who I think was in WCW at one point.
No idea who you're talking about.
And he demands a match. And then you just hear, do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do. And it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, God.
Comes out, this is like 2002, comes out with an American flag and his 2x4. Ho! And he beats up Mike Sanders.
I'd have to see Mike Sanders, but I really don't want to.
Ho!
All right.
Did you say John Moxley's like Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
No. You said MJF was like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I
said he was kind of
I would never say that about Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I said MJF was kind of drawing from that when he was doing his American champion gimmick because he was walking around with the American flag.
I would never disparage Jim Duggan by calling him John Moxley.
Moxley's one of the best wrestlers of this generation.
Don't start with that crap.
First ever modern day Triple Crown champion.
God, I wish I had gas. I would blow it right in this microphone. Anyway, we can get to the news. I want you to talk about your bot thing because it's going to go right into the NXT review.
All right. This pisses me off.
With that because I'm going to use the results at NXT to prove your point.
This pisses me off to no fucking end. So I go on the Squared Circle subreddit a lot just to try to talk to people about wrestling.
Well, there's your first
see what's
mistake.
on there. Well, most other subreddits don't have this problem that I belong to. And
I think I just rub everybody the wrong way, but whatever.
Well, yeah, you got banned from the Fight Forever subreddit.
I got banned from Star Wars. What was it? Star Wars, not EU. What's the one? The Cantina.
Yeah, Star Wars Cantina. That's the one where they don't want you to be like. That's the one where you're supposed to be like.
They're a bunch
chill.
of pussies. I made one comment on there when they were like, "Say something nice about Tasia Ridley." I'm like, "I'm happy she hasn't ruined any Star Wars movies the last 5 years." Banned.
Well, Star Wars Cantina's supposed to be like a safe space. That's the point of that.
What is it, like run by a psychiatrist or something?
It's supposed to be like a non-toxic Star Wars environment. Go to Saltier Than Crate if you want to criticize stuff.
Yes, I belong to that. Those are my people right there.
Saltier
Than Crate, yeah.
Because Crate's the planet from Last Hot Dog.
Yeah, I just joined it the other...
Or
as they said in the Spanish bootleg, I had Los Últimos Jedi.
So anyway, the amount of bots on the Squared Circle...
Which we did speak about this before.
On the Squared Circle subreddit is fucking insane. Not only do I barely see AEW posts.
Yeah, absolutely, because I've been on that subreddit.
And NJPW posts. It's overwhelmingly WWE stuff and overwhelmingly positive. Especially NXT. And I've watched NXT recently.
You said it's better than the main roster, but it's not the end-all be-all. Not even close.
When I say better than the main roster, it's like saying vomit. Is vomit better than diarrhea? But I still think it's shitty. Because, it's watching a bunch of people my age.
It's too bright for me.
Yeah.
When they changed it. Back when it started, it was like in India. I liked it better.
Yeah, and that because that was different. That was all the people.
That was when Triple H was running.
Yeah, it was basically all the people in AEW now.
Pretty much, yeah.
And
Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens, yeah.
Yeah, and some other people who are like Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah.
But then
But get back to the bots. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're striking before you.
Like NXT is fucking terrible in my opinion. It's a bunch of people my age trying to be as, as overblown as possible so they stand out. It's apparently the story. And people are just love it so much on there. The storylines are amazing. Shawn Michaels is amazing with his booking. They have such, Oba Femi's the megastar of this generation. Ava Rain's an amazing character. And the Lexus King fan club. The amount of Lexus King fans should be zero. I fucking saw him wrestle in AEW, and I saw him wrestle in WWE.
Yeah, he didn't suddenly get better.
No. I remember I saw when he was Brian Pillman Jr.
Which they should have just kept that.
And then
Lexus Kid sounds like a black rapper. Named after a fucking car.
Again, Oba Femi does one move. Stop trying to say that he's a megastar.
I didn't say he was a mega
Or
star. I didn't know
people-
who he was. You told me. I thought Obafemi was an STD.
Well, I told you about the pro. I showed you that promo they did with the mob guy.
Who was it? Was it Tony D'Angelo?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they fought at No Mercy. Yeah, they were making love to each other with their eyes. That looked like the beginning of a gay porno.
Yeah. Well,
That's what you said to me, and I didn't believe it until I watched it. I was uncomfortable.
yeah, they were staring at each other, and it's just that
He was undressing Obafemi with his eyes.
and it's
awful.
just that, like, I'm not in, and also because they're all trained by the Performance Center now, so they all wrestle.
Yeah, and we've talked about that style of wrestling because it is a style.
They all wrestle the same exact style.
Yeah.
If everyone's trained by the same person, it's not interesting because they all do the same thing.
Well, it's like they're trained by other people when they get there because everybody goes to wrestling school. Like, I've told you Triple H went to Killer Kowalski, stuff like that.
Yeah, but like if
They come in there to show them how they want them to work.
yes, but you're taught. It's the same thing like with any martial art. You're taught by a different master. You fight differently. The
Yeah.
NJPW dojo teaches very differently than the Monster Factory. He teaches very differently than Killer Kowalski. The thing at the
Killer Kowalski's not teaching anybody now. He's dead. So
well, you understand what I'm saying. The
Yes,
Performance Center trains everyone the exact same way, and it's boring.
Well, they put Jordan Grace in there before the Women's Royal Rumble because they wanted to show her how to work in the Rumble. But that's how they do it. And if you want to come in, that's what you got to deal with.
Yeah, they have a very boring, safe style.
But as case in point, watching Bash in Berlin last night when I got home, Jade Cargill, she has come up a tad, but she was wearing green too because she's green as turtle shit.
Well, that's what people were saying online. That's the one negative thing I saw is that people were saying that sometimes you got to accept that a wrestler is just not good, and they were saying that she was dragging down Bianca Belair.
I mean, I'd never seen a woman in that kind of shape. I'll give her that.
That doesn't mean shit.
She should be in some kind of bodybuilding contest or something.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean she's a good wrestler.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
Who else was in good shape? Sean Stasiak.
Meat. Did you know about him being meat?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Where he grabbed a big boss man in a waist lock, and the boss man creeped out because I guess they were trying to make it because he had a big dick. But it was like he had a boner. He put it where I was like, ah!
Who, Stasiak?
Yeah.
Well, I remember watching something in WCW.
His trunks look like tidy whities.
Where he was feuding with Mr. Perfect.
That was a shame for Mr. Perfect. His father was Stan Stasiak, former WWF champion for like 9 days, between Pedro and Bruno's second reign.
It's just that it's so terrible, and I'm tired of not being able to criticize it. Like, for one
You can't criticize anything anymore. How do you think I feel talking to you, here or not on the air? Anytime it's about AEW, if you had a gun, you would shoot me.
Like Tony Khan said on Twitter a couple years ago that he said, like last year, that a lot of the AEW criticism is blown out of proportion by bot accounts, and people thought he was crazy. I agree with him.
Well, no, you can't say pro-W. I mean, if there's bot accounts pissing on AEW, fine. But don't say the ones that are pro-WWE.
No, that's not what he said. He said that there's bot accounts pissing on them. And I agree with him. Because, look, AEW's not perfect. I'll be the first person to say that.
Yeah, they got problems, and most of them are with him.
Yes, but I would watch Dynamite over Raw any day of the week.
I haven't been able to watch Raw for long in many, many, many years. Before they even went to 3 hours. Like, your cousin, when he was little, I used to let him stay up and watch the first segment. But after that, and he went to bed, I'd turn it off.
Raw has 30 to 45 minutes of wrestling and then just over 2 hours of promos.
They used to only have 20. They used to only have 20, and they had 2 hours of wrestling.
Oh, God.
The hell was that? The hell was that?
Like, I want to watch a wrestling show.
Yeah, but you got to have filler in the middle somewhere.
Like,
but see, back in the Attitude Era, it didn't matter because the segments were like less than a minute.
Yeah, because everyone had ADD.
Yeah, and somebody got jumped. Well, that was Shitstain's idea. Russo. That's what makes him famous. But then they got away from it, and the business has really never been the same from that avenue. But, so you're saying, I agree with you about the Performance Center type of style, and I agree with you about there may be bots out there because nobody likes Lexis King.
Or Ava Raine.
You said the number of Alexis King fans should be 0.
It should be -1.
But let's get into that now by going over the NXT No Mercy results.
I saw
yesterday at the Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado.
Saw clips of this. I was not impressed.
Well, just reading of it, I'm not impressed. The results.
No match went over 20 minutes.
No, we'll give you the times right here. The opening match was Axiom and Nathan Frazier defeated Chase University, Andre Chase, and
I like
Ridge
Axiom
Holland.
in the WWE video games.
Oh, yeah?
He used to be some guy like A-Kid or something.
Yeah. Andre Chase and Ridge Holland were the champions. They were defeated for the
Chase
NXT.
University. It's supposed to be a college gimmick.
Ridge Holland, I remember him from carrying Sheamus all those matches. His back used to hurt when they were the Brawling Brutes. So, Axiom and Nathan Frazier were the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Zachary Wentz. That first match was 13 minutes, 33 seconds. Zachary Wentz
From TNA.
Yeah, defeated Wesley by pinfall at 13:37. And the next was singles match for the NXT Women's North American Champion. Kalani Jordan defeated Wendy Chu by pinfall at 13 minutes and 19 seconds. Obafemi, your favorite, the North American Champion, defeated...
French toast, no. Waffles, no. Pancakes!
Defeated Tony D'Angelo with Channing Stax Lorenzo, Luca Crucifino, and Adriana Rizzo by pinfall. Singles match for the NXT North American Championship at 13
I'm sorry, as an Italian, I find that offensive.
Seconds.
As an Italian, I find that offensive.
You're like 1/12 Italian.
I'm 1/8 Italian. No, I'm 2/8 Italian. I'm like a quarter Italian.
No, you're not, because I'm a quarter. You're the next generation. You would have to be less.
I don't know.
You're more Irish than anything. Of course, you have that Polish in you, too. That just mucks up everything. So, all right. Roxanne Perez defeated Jada Parker by pinfall to retain
the
NXT Women's Championship.
And afterwards, Julia came out, and everyone's
from Stardom. She made her.
And everyone's hyping her up, and this has to be fucking bots, because WWE has a casual fan base. I bet you none of you have ever fucking seen her wrestle before.
Yeah, they didn't see her till they brought her out that one time.
Exactly.
Rossi Ogawa.
People are talking about how she's a megastar. None of you have fucking seen her wrestle.
She was a megastar before she got here.
Exactly. But none of the WWE audience has seen her. This is the shit that people complain about AEW doing, where they bring in people like Okada and they don't hype them up enough.
Calm down before you have a heart attack. But
WWE pisses me off.
That match went 14 minutes and 50 seconds, so slightly over 13. And then the main event, which when I read this shocked me because I didn't see this, Ethan Page defeated Joe Hendry by pinfall with Trick Williams as the special guest referee. 15 minutes, 8 seconds. I thought they were going to position Joe to be the NXT champion. They were just going to steal him. I still think they're going to steal him.
They're going to steal him and Jordan Grace at the very least.
Oh.
Floyd and Grace.
2 male wrestlers they're going to steal, huh? But yeah, just by judging by
I don't like any wrestlers who use steroids and lie about it.
But I just going over that match.
In general, I don't like wrestlers who use performance-enhancing drugs because I believe that it sets a bad precedent and enhances poor body standards. But
speaking of people on the supplements, did you see Orton at Bash in Berlin? You know what he weighs now?
Like 300.
290.
Oh.
I mean, he is huge.
And I don't think that should be allowed.
His face looks even fatter.
I'm tired of this shit where it seems like now it's like steroids are becoming like more accepted.
Well, they were accepted when I was a kid. They're more accepted. They're coming back, it sounds like.
Oh, God.
When I was a kid, they were all doing them. Piper was doing them. You ever see the definition? Some of those guys? Piper, Martel, Hogan, The Warrior, Rude. All of them. Rude looked the most normal because he was thin. But
Rude was on steroids?
I'm sure they all were. They all were. I mean, not Andre the Giant, obviously, the fat fuck. He was. Or Yokozuna. They weren't on him. I mean, Yokozuna used to eat like 3 buckets. Jim Cornette said, because he managed him, he's like, when he needed his snack, he used to eat 2 buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken. All by himself. All by himself.
The Bone Street Crew.
But anyway, yeah, judging by that match list alone, it's hard to believe how they could be so popular. Like you talked about WWE having casual fans. I agree with you, because I don't think the most diehardest of fans have to be between 10 and 12 years old of that shit.
And also, like, from what I was seeing...
It's almost as cartoony as it was when I was a kid.
And also, like, from what I've seen, apparently, no one from, like, that watches NXT is watching TNA because of the crossover. No one is watching.
Well, nobody's going to watch it anyway.
So it's like
it wasn't. It's not like I said. They thought they were going to get viewers from that. How?
Well, apparently not. Apparently, this is what Scott D'Amore said, that he didn't want them to go through with this deal. That's why he left. Because
it does not benefit them at all.
Because that's what he said.
Yeah, and he's right.
Basically, he said that the Anthem people kind of know that, and they're just trying to get like quick cash out of this now.
Yeah, they're probably just getting a boner to work with WWE
and just trying to get like a cash bonus out of this to make some quick money now, and then just like they might just sell off the company once WWE takes everyone.
Speaking of Scott D'Amore, you saw how he reopened Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, we're getting some people.
Did you see their YouTube channel, though?
No.
He has access to the old Maple Leafs, like when the Tunnies owned it, before Vince bought it. I found clips with Piper, Flair, in the 70s. Flair, Steamboat, the Youngbloods, all these guys. Like, it's worth...
Who are the Youngbloods?
Jay and Mark Youngblood. One of them died very tragically.
And then Jay Youngblood was with Ricky Steamboat.
He died, yeah. He died very young of like a heart ailment or something like that.
But I just remember reading that they were a tag team.
Yeah, they were the NWA Tag Champions at the first Starrcade, or they won it at the first Starrcade. They fought Slaughter and Don Kernoodle, whatever the fuck his name.
Slaughter. All right, moving down to...
Hold on, keep it with the WWE news. Yeah, you were starting. Raw set to debut on Netflix on 1/6, which I wonder how that's going to be. They say it's going to be uncensored. So does that mean Seth freaking Rollins will be Seth fucking Rollins?
Who knows? I don't really care.
And then that brings us to the Bash at Berlin results. And how much of this did you watch?
I just saw the Punk match. I hated it.
I did not think it was well, but let's get to the results here.
His first ever televised win in WWE in like 12 years.
Yeah, and it was, we were talking in the car on the way over here, but I wanted to save some of this for then.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah. I was playing some games and stuff too, but I had it on the phone and I was watching it. But again, another show where they opened up with the world title match. Cody Rhodes against Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens really showed his stuff in this one. Did a freaking
He should go to AEW.
Well, there's talk of that at the end of the year. It doesn't sound like they're going to re-sign him.
Good.
Well, he's friendly with the Bucks.
Well, I think
he contacted the Bucks when Cody left because he knew Cody had never been on the Indies. He talked to them. He said, take care of him because he knew they would.
Well, I think he's a perfect fit. He's like Ricochet.
Yeah, but he did like some kind of fisherman's brain buster off the top. You know how innovative he is with moves and everything.
Yeah, and in AEW, they'd let him be even...
He'd be bringing back the package pile driver and everything.
Yeah.
I know that sounds like a dick joke. But second match was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
Greenest turtle shit.
Yeah, defeated the Unholy Alliance, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn to regain the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions that they lost at Clash of the Castle. Which, like I said, Jade Cargill is getting better.
No,
but
she's not.
Still, well, she's better than she was at AEW. But saying that, it's like, did two piles of shit and this one smells better.
Vomit better than diarrhea.
Yeah. But
it's not.
She's still, I don't think she's ever going to be
she's
like
never
a superstar. Like some people are just naturals, like Randy Orton or something like that. She is not one of them. She's the exact opposite of a natural.
She can't fucking talk.
No, she should just stand there. She should have she should have a mouthpiece.
No, but you need to either be able to talk or be able to wrestle. She can't do both. Like someone like Ricochet, he needs a mouthpiece because he can't really talk. But he could still be an amazing wrestler and have charisma that way. She doesn't have anything.
Sure, you fire the crowd up and everything. But then the aforementioned strap match we got to where CM Punk defeated Drew McIntyre by touching the four corners.
This was terrible.
It was terrible because Punk looks old and slow, and this coming from me who's a big fan of his.
McIntyre
looks good. McIntyre has come up in my estimation just from the last year alone, just from going after him and dogging him. But I had a lot of problems.
Yeah, this is like the Jericho-Malenko feud when Malenko was injured and Jericho had to like keep the feud going in WCW.
Yeah, and he was the man of 1,004 holds. Armbar. But
fisted punch.
What I want to say about the strap matches, I've seen a lot of strap matches in my day. They used to have to drag them to all four corners. You had to incapacitate the guy and drag him. They were doing shit where McIntyre was carrying him and they were both touching the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
And then Punk starts touching the turnbuckles while McIntyre's in the middle of the ring. It makes no fucking sense. Why even be strapped to the guy or make the goddamn strap shorter?
And they're not really even tied to each other. They're holding it. It's on their wrist and they're holding it.
Well, they used to have like a gasket on the end of it where they would tighten it.
It's not like an AEW, like where Bryan Danielson and Ricky Steamboat
that was
tied
better
to each other.
That was better.
But see, that would be too violent for our PG audience.
Well, they're getting away from PG.
No,
I told you they're going to be uncensored on Netflix.
It's still not violent.
You might see boobs on Netflix.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I doubt it. The Terror Twins, as Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are being called now, defeated the Judgment Day of Dirty Dom and Dirty Dom Mysterio and Liv Morgan.
Oh, I fucking hate them. I can't fucking stand that.
Rhea clotheslined a bunch of the guys from Judgment Day right out of their shoes. Right out of their shoes. And in the final match, which went 34 minutes and 28 seconds, I never thought it was going to end. Gunther defeats Randy Orton by technical submission, knocked him out with a sleeper hold.
Was it good?
Yeah, and Gunther was the babyface. Because people were cheering for Randy, but he's Austrian, so yeah. But Gunther is just such a good talent and such a throwback.
Again, all they're good people, not trained by WWE.
Speaking of him, I found a match
He's from PWG.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was from WXW or it was from something in Germany, but I have a match of him versus Ospreay. What a fucking match.
I got to watch that.
I'll have to find it on there and give it to you.
Because also, he was a lot bigger then, too.
As soon as I get this computer.
If you look up him in like NXT UK or like when he was on the Indies, he was fucking huge. He's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that was Bash at Berlin, which these PLEs, like...
5 matches. Too short.
Yeah, and like nobody... They follow the Crown Jewel program where nothing really happens. I mean, who gives a fuck that the women's tag team title changed hands? Who cares? Do you even remember they have a title half the time? No. But
Piper Niven and Chelsea Green were the champions at one point.
I want to go through the miscellaneous news before we get to AEW because I got some bones I got to pick with some of the shit I've been reading and hearing and seeing. But let's get the miscellaneous out of the way. Dave Meltzer, potato face. Rutabaga face. Whatever. He looks like the potato boss in Cuphead. Dave Meltzer reported on Nikki Garcia's domestic battery case with her husband. I don't think I have to explain that to anybody because by now it's going to be All Out's on the 7th, right? It's this week. Yeah, because we're recording this on Monday, so this will be tomorrow. And he wrote that about her domestic battery case. And at the end of the article, he had to put in the article that Nikki Garcia recently spoke about how good AEW's women's division is. Shameless! Shameless, you cocksucker!
I thought everyone hated
There's
Meltzer.
nothing funny about a woman getting smacked around. There isn't.
Everyone hates Meltzer. Again, you saw his star ratings for All In. They were atrocious.
Oh, we haven't even got to them yet. We're going to open the AEW news with that. But I need to say it again. There was nothing funny about a woman getting smacked around.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean that in all seriousness.
And Meltzer's got a... he's Meltzer.
This one, we're actually going to put the clip up on the screen because I don't know if anybody's seen this. We're going to stop a second because I don't think you've seen it. Hulk Hogan trolled at one of his American beer stops by a guy. Never saw it coming. The guy was talking like he was a fan. He was like, the MAGA powers, brother. MAGA maniacs. Like, Hogan hates black Americans. And then he winds up getting thrown out. I'll show it to you. Hang on a second. We'll put it up on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Look at the shirt, the MAGA powers. We're going to destroy the woke. What are they going to do when we drop the big boot on trans and we drop the big boot on everything? We're going to drop the big boot on Social Security. Does that work for you, brother? Trump is a real felon. Then he went to Epstein Island. Trump, no physical, no political violence. No political violence. No political violence, though.
Get down.
Now tell me. That wasn't fucking hysterical.
Yeah, it was. Hogan was very confused.
He didn't know what. He thought that guy was being thought he was a Hulkamaniac.
Are there any Hulkamaniacs anymore that aren't inbred?
I said to my father over the weekend, because I showed him that when we were up in the mountains, and I was like,
I know, he's always been a terrible person.
The guy who did that, his name was Robbie Roadsteamer. He's a comedian. But the MAGA powers cracked me the fuck up. But Hogan never saw it coming. He should be ashamed of himself. Jesse Ventura said it right when he said Hogan should be with the Republicans because he's anti-union. He goes, when I tried to get the union together, he goes, Hogan at WrestleMania 3, his payoff was bigger than all the other wrestlers combined. He goes, think about that. Andre the Giant, myself, Gorilla Monsoon on it. He's like, why would he want a union? when he's making all the money anyway. So, but also Nick Nemeth defended. Oh, we need to get into that in a minute. Oh.
Not really. Does anyone really care?
Well, I didn't even know what the matches were, but he defended the TNA title against Josh Alexander.
Also, the next thing
confronted by JBL afterwards.
John Layfield, not John Bradshaw Layfield. I was reading something. Guy? No, I was reading something. He's under WWE Legends contract still. He can basically go anywhere as long as he's not JBL.
Well, he was also in Bloodsport the other week, and he fucking knocked that guy right out of his shoes. But anyway, let me look at the match card here because it can't be that bad. Oh, sorry, I spoke too soon.
What is it?
2 matches on the preliminary show. Frankie Kazarian, where he belongs on the pre-show, defeated Kushida by pinfall. Damn shame. PCO relegated to the pre-show, defeats Shera, who had Matt Cardona at ringside.
Mahabali Shera.
Singles match for the TNA Digital Media Championship and Canadian International Heavyweight Championship. That match went 5 minutes. Zachary Wentz defeated Speedball Mike Bailey, Hammerstone, Jason Hotch, Laredo Kid, and Riley Osborne. Ultimate X match for the TNA X Division Championship. 10 minutes.
Why is Al? That's way too fucking short.
I agree.
And why is Alex Hammerstone in the X Division? X Division is supposed to be for the lighter guys.
Why has he come there at all and ruined his career? He had a bright future with MLW. And he came here and he's horse shit. Then Steve Macklin, speaking of horse shit, defeated Eric Young by pinfall, 9 minutes and 53 seconds.
Why is everything here so fucking short?
I don't know. What was this pay-per-view, like 25 minutes long? 6 knockout tag team match. Jordan Grace and Spitfire, Danny Luna and Jody Threat, defeated Ash by Elegance and the Militia, Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich, with the personal concierge by pinfall. 8 minutes and 3 seconds, 6-man.
Because that's the Ash by Elegance. That's Dana Brooke.
Yeah, I remember.
Stealing Tony Storm's gimmick.
Dana's in good shape now, though, when she can actually wrestle. She's come a long way since she was Miss Piggy in WWE, managing Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, well, now you don't like her anymore.
Nah, she's too skinny for me. ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, who were the only acts I liked at that one pay-per-view we watched when Nick Nemeth won, defeated First Class, AJ Francis and KC Navarro by pinfall to retain the TNA World Tag Team Championship. 8-man tag team match. Jesus Christ. The System, Moose, Brian Myers.
Nemeth! He stinks!
That's right, it stinks!
Most wanted man! Stinks!
The System, Moose, Brian Myers, JDC, and Fat Eddie Edwards defeated Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, and the Hardys by pinfall at 19 minutes and 17 seconds. And the main event, which we already spoke about, Nick Nemeth defeated Josh Alexander 3 falls to 2 in a 60-minute Iron Man match. Nemeth won the first fall with an inside cradle at 10:55. Nemeth won the second fall after he pinned Alexander after the danger zone at 24:31. Alexander pinned Nemeth after a C4 spike at 44:03. Alexander pinned Nemeth after another C4 spike 43 seconds later. And then Nemeth got the final pinfall with a C4 spike at 59:49. Sounds exhausting. But now, what was this I heard about NJPW Capital Collision?
I haven't heard a single thing about it. It's like I was talking. It's like
it already happened. It was on the 30th, I think.
Yeah, I didn't hear a single thing about it. I heard that Mercedes Moné was there and that Leo Rush was there. And that Orange Cassidy was there because Orange Cassidy, Ishii, and Leo Rush had to get on Tony's private jet to go from D.C. to South Dakota for Collision.
Well, let's see the card here, shall we? Matt Vandegrift defeated Alan Breeze by pinfall in the first pre-show match. Strong Survivor match, 6 minutes and 22 seconds. The other pre-show match, Empress Nexus Venus, Hanako, and Mina Shirakawa defeated Trish Adora and Viva Vaughn by submission at 6 minutes and 55 seconds. All right, to the main card. 3-way tag match to determine the number 1 contenders to the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship. Tomohiro Ishii and Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated the Grizzled Young Veterans and TMDK by pinfall at 11:25. In a 6-man tag, Rocky Romero and Yoshihashi and Kevin Knight defeated Bullet Club War Dogs, Dave Finley, Clark Connors, and Drilla Maloney at 11:52. Dirty Work, Tom Lawler and Fred Rosser defeated West Coast Wrecking Crew, Royce Isaacs, and Jarrell Nelson by pinfall at 11:38 in the no disqualification tag team match. In a singles match, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Titan by submission at 14:53.
Titan.
Who? Titan?
Titan.
That's just Spanish for tit, you know, right? No, the Grand Titans out in the Midwest. That's the Spanish for big tits, that's all. Tetsuya Naito defeated TJP by pinfall at 14:59 in a singles match. And Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes defeated Hechechechero. I've been waiting for him to come back. And Virus by pinfall in a tag team match for the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship in 13 minutes and 53 seconds. In a singles match, Hiromu Takahashi defeated Mustafa Ali by pinfall. Had Hiromu lost, he would have to publicly said that Ali is the best junior heavyweight wrestler in the world. That was 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Gabe Kidd defeated Blackheart Leo Rush in a singles match to defend the Strong Openweight Championship at 17 minutes and 55 seconds. And in the main event, Mercedes Moon defended the Strong Women's Championship against Momo Watanabe, 19 minutes and 55 seconds. I assume that must have been hell watching that.
And then we also had the NWA 76th anniversary show.
We should have went to that.
No, but no one has seen it yet, and here's why. Because there was this thing I was reading on the subreddit on Squared Circle where apparently Billy Corgan was going to make a big announcement at the show. And it was 4 hours.
The announcement was he wasn't going to tape it?
The 4 or 5 hours later, and I think still, no one knows what it was. Because here's the thing. Ever since NWA Samhain, they haven't been doing actual pay-per-views.
I wonder why.
They'll promote it as a pay-per-view, they'll record it, but then they'll tape it, and then it will get split up and aired as episodes of NWA Power.
Well, don't look now. Samhain 2 is next up.
I know.
Next month.
Samhain.
Just out of tradition, I'll have to get it and watch 2 minutes of it.
I know. I saw that Father James Mitchell's on the poster.
This is the one I said we should have went to because it was in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena. But listen to this. No pre-show matches. 15 fucking matches.
No one's seen it.
They don't even have times on here.
Exactly. I told you, no one's seen it.
Well, let's.
Besides the people that were there, and no one cares enough to actually find out what happened.
We probably could have gotten right up against the guardrail. Soda Pop Hendricks defeated Papa Don.
People are saying online that that's like the most indie wrestler name ever. Soda Pop Hendricks.
Stop me if you heard any of these people. Sean Carlson defeated the Rockstar. Nobody. Mario Pardua and Steve Boz defeated Fox Vineyard and Tim Theory.
There's 15 matches?
Yeah, I'm trying to go through them as fast as I can. Gags the Gimp.
I've heard of him.
Defeated Alexander Lev. I guess you can't forget that name.
Gags the Gimp, because he was one of the people that was doing coke with James Mitchell.
That's the only reason you know who he is?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. Zion and Magic Jake Dumas with Austin Idol. I know who Austin Idol is.
I've heard that name.
Defeated Baron Von Storm and Jax Dane. I know who Jax Dane is, though. Thrillbilly Silas Mason defeated Colby Carino. I heard of both of them.
Yeah. That's Steve Carino's son.
Here's a long one. 4-way tag team match for the NWA United States Tag Team Champion. The champions, the Country Gentlemen, AJ Kazana and KC Kazana, with Joe Kazana, defeated Daisy Kill and Talos, who were the champions, with Vampiro. Tay Fixers LLC, Jay Bradley and Wrecking Ball Legursky, and the Slime Balls, Sage Chance and Tommy Rant by pinfall. Wow. Now in a tag team match for the NWA World Women's Tag Team Championship, Orville Brown must be fucking rolling over in his grave. The It Girls, Ella Envy and Miss Star defeated...
Wasn't he the first ever NWA champion, or was he the founder of the chair?
He was, and he had to give up the belt to Lou Thez on a forfeit because he got in a car accident. He couldn't make it. And he went up retired after that, but he helped. It was Orville Brown, Pinky George, and somebody else. Because the NWA before that was the National Wrestling Association. Then it was the Alliance or something different. But the It Girls, Ella Envy and Miss Star defeated the King Bees, Charity King, and Dana B, the champions, by pinfall. This isn't getting any better. Singles match to determine the number one contender to the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Jack Cartwheel defeated Alex
How long have we been on for? God,
I know this card I've lost my train of thought here. Burke Invitational Gauntlet for an NWA World Women's Championship match. Natalia Markova won by last eliminating Tiffany Nieves. In a Liberty Bell Brawl, the Immortals, Kratos and Odinson, defeated Blunt Force Trauma. I know them. Carnage and Damage with Aaron Stevens, formerly known as Damian Sandow.
I've heard of these guys before.
Four-way elimination match for the vacant NWA National Championship. Mims with BLKGs.
What?
I don't know. Defeated Brian Idol, Burchill, and Carson Drake by pinfall.
Wait, Burchill? Is that?
He just went there. Yes.
Dude.
Pirate Paul.
Dun, 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 dun.
You don't have to sing it. I have the music.
Oh.
Knox and Murdoch defeated the Southern Six, Alex Taylor and Kerry Morton, with Ricky Morton in a tag team match to determine the number one contender to the NWA World Tag Team Champion.
The Rock and Roll Express.
And in the main event, in a surprise, Tom Latimer defeated EC3 by pinfall to capture the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion.
Does anyone really give a shit?
Probably not. All right, let's move on to this AEW stuff, and then mercifully, I'll let you go home.
Yeah, gotta go play some Morrowind.
Apparently, the Jack Perry Darby Allin coffin match at All In was cut short due to having to have the pay-per-view over by 10 p.m. England time.
Okay.
Because remember, we remarked how short it was, and it was like a squash?
Yeah, well, that makes sense. If you're going to cut any match short, you could have cut that one.
All right, now.
Because you can't cut the main event short.
Bring up the star ratings and read them to me.
I don't have the star ratings. I couldn't find them.
All right. I'll read them to you then. I have them somewhere because I texted them to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I have a screenshot of them here somewhere because this is, like, his head is up his ass. I mean.
Meltzer.
Actually, that might be a compliment.
The Meltzer driver!
Hook versus Chris Jericho got 4.5.
This is like 2 stars, max.
But Tony Storm and Mariah May got 1.5. Which just makes me think that he doesn't value women's wrestling at all.
That was a 5-star match.
Yeah, it's story alone.
Yeah.
The Young Bucks versus FTR versus The Acclaim got 5.
3, max.
At max, not even. Casino Gauntlet got 4, which
that's a 4.
You said it was okay until the winner came.
I thought it was amazing until the end.
Well, then you can give it 4 then.
I think it's 5.
Will Ospreay versus MJF got 6. Fine. What?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mercedes Moon versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, 2.5.
Okay.
I would have given that. Yeah, 2.5 is fine. That was not a good match. Britt was rusty and Mercedes can't work. But Tony Storm, Mariah May definitely should have been 5. Jack Perry versus Darby Allin got 5 with a 10-minute squash. Your face speaks volumes.
That's like 2.
Bryan Danielson versus Swerve got 6.5. I'd drink to that. That's fine by me. Now, I got to talk about some shit here.
Okay, I know you have...
Danielson is defending against Perry.
Yes.
Saturday, right?
I don't know why either.
Yeah, because you know why. It's in Chicago. He thinks he's going to be over like he was at that Windy City Riot.
Oh, cry me a river.
Let's see. I don't think so.
And if he is...
What, you want me to bet something? If he is, I'll write next week's format down and I'll eat it.
Hey, he was over in London.
Yeah, but that's like a niche audience over there.
No, I wouldn't say that. It was 50,000 people.
Yeah, it's 50,000 niche audience people. What happened with Aubrey Edwards walking over the guy's leg on the ropes?
I don't know what this is. I've never heard of it.
She did something in a match where she counted the guy down and his leg was on the ropes, so it's looking like a fuck finish. Then she steps over the said leg that is on the ropes.
I have no idea what this is.
I think it has something to do with Shane. Everybody's pointing to something to do with Shane McMahon coming in.
Here comes the money.
Which I don't really know. But speaking of that, they're also saying it looks like. Did you hear John Moxley's promo?
Yeah, I saw his promo, and he beat up people backstage with Marina Shafir.
Yeah, she came in nice sweet chin music on somebody. But did you hear? Brian Alvarez reported this, and I actually downloaded the movie so I could fact check him, and he's right. His new character is based on this guy Hondo from an early '90s Russell Crowe movie. It's like a cult movie called Romper Stomper.
Yeah, I looked
and
it
it's
up.
fucking neo-Nazis. Now, other than him saying, this isn't your company anymore, Honda said this isn't your country anymore. But the promo is fucking word for word verbatim. And a lot of people are pissed about it because of it being from that movie. I knew about that movie years ago, but I had forgotten about it. But it is not a good movie.
Because now he's back as a heel, and it looks like they're
He should be. He's not likable anyway. Fuck him.
No, he's very likable.
No. Mickey Mouse is likable. John Moxley is.
And now it looks like they're going to replace him in the Blackpool Combat Club with Pac.
All right. Pac deserves his due. But let's also talk about how everyone's saying the Dynamite after All In was a letdown.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, but there was another party for Mercedes, I heard, where she was backstage.
In the nightclub.
Stripper dance. I mean, how many times are we going to do that?
With Okada, and then Private Party tried coming up to her.
I mean, like, you can't base anything around her. It's a losing battle. He's only doing it to justify how much money he gave her, which is still ambiguous to everybody else. All right. Do you have the All Out card?
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Read it to me.
We only have a couple matches.
What are they going to do their bullshit where they put stuff on Wednesday again? They had all out matches set up before All In, I thought.
One.
Yeah.
Or two.
Yeah. Jack Perry getting another fucking world title.
Okay, we got 6 matches set up. Will Ospreay versus Pac for the international title.
That'll be good. That'll be the sleeper matchup of the night.
Will Nightingale versus Chris Statlander with Stokely Hathaway in a Chicago street fight. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland in a steel cage match.
All right, give me a blow off to them. This will be match 3, right?
4.
See? Then you shouldn't have done a cage match. You do some kind of match there, you get a fuck finish, and then you go to the 5th match with the blow off. Because the cage, or like cage match, dog collar match, there shouldn't be anything after that. You can't follow it up. It's going to be bloody as fuck, though. Both of those guys like to bleed.
MJF versus Daniel Garcia because Daniel Garcia interfered in the match at All In.
Okay. They got history.
Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida because Hikaru Shida won a fatal 4-way match to qualify.
I heard that.
And then the main event, Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry.
Oh, my God. Why is this happening? We already devalued the IWGP title when he fucking fought that Sonata.
Fuck CM Punk. Fuck CM Punk.
I guarantee you're not going to hear those chants in Chicago. I guarantee it.
Hey, you saw the thing at Windy City Riot?
That's one time.
They had the SWAT team.
Let's talk. Well, that was smart. That was NJPW that booked that. That wasn't Tony. Every time he was out here, he hasn't done him any favors. The best thing he did was make his own TNT belt. If they had more sketches like that on the show, I'd be more interested. But I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, that's his first title defense against Perry, and if he fucking wins it, I'm going to go through the roof.
Then I'll quit watching. People are saying what they're going to do is that they're going to have Danielson win, and then Christian's going to cash in his contract for a match thinking he's going to win, and then Danielson's going to beat him too. It will prove his dominance.
If not, you're going to get Christian and Adam Copeland in the battle of the bedpan at the nursing home.
Copeland can still work.
Yeah, he doesn't know when to quit, though. He fucking, diving off the cage, breaking his leg. Because you're 50!
Hey, he's back to training.
I'm 46! I gotta wake up 3 times a night to take a piss!
I saw a thing. He was back to training. He was with FTR, Darby Allin, and Steve Borden Jr. Sting's sons. They're training to be wrestlers. They apparently live on Darby's lawn, or at least they were.
Yeah, you talked to me. I'm as impressed as I was the first time you told me. As in not.
The new Stingers. It can be like the Blade Runners. Blade Runner Flash and Blade Runner Sting. They can have...
That was Blade Runner Flash and Blade Runner Rock.
Oh.
Flash was the warrior.
And they can do...
You better get this shit right if you're going to quote wrestling history.
They can do the Stings. They can as a tag team. One can dress up like Surfer Sting. One can be Wolfpack, Sting,
They
like
could
they
be
did it.
present and past tense. Sting and Stung. I don't fucking know.
Sting and Stung.
Sting,
like
Stung.
The Johnsons in TNA. Did I ever tell you
Be
about
managed
that?
by has been stung before. Yeah, the Johnsons. Please don't tell me again.
All right, signing off.
Good night.
Get your hand off my penis!